All right, so Liverpool drew 2-2 at Brighton. It was the weekend when Arsenal beat Manchester City, so 2 weekends ago in the Premier League. Guys, so 2 weekends ago, we saw Liverpool slugging it out at Brighton. Now they are at home this weekend, playing a fixture they almost always win. But against an Everton side who, under Sean Dyche, are beginning to piece together, wins here and there as they try to survive. Yeah, your thoughts on this one, Liverpool v Everton, the derby at Anfield?
Well, it looks clearly like a Liverpool win. Stats favour them. I think the last time they lost to Everton was 2021.
COVID time.
With no fans, so it doesn't really count. But then again, Liverpool have shown this season that they've been down and out, but they managed to scrape through and win. And they've actually played very nice football. Szoboszlai in the middle, McAllister, although still as a number 6, I'm a bit cautious about that. But Liverpool have enough about them to certainly trouble Everton. Everton, on the other hand, they're still a team in transition, still figuring out what to do under Sean Dyche. And the fact that maybe Beto, he's starting to warm up to the Premier League, but goal scoring is still a problem for them. So this goal looks like there will be goals, but we all know whether
more for Liverpool than Everton.
Certainly.
Edwin, we've seen Liverpool's record, and yeah, it's right, they are playing some great football. But if there's a common theme concerning Liverpool, this is the fact that they can't stop teams from scoring. So everybody almost gets a goal. Should that please Sean Dyche? Should he look at that and say that there's possibly something in there for them, or he should be more concerned about his team's own inability to find the back of the net?
Well, I think any team would be pleased when you're looking at Liverpool's defensive stats. They, as you said, find it difficult to keep teams from scoring against them. And their defense seems weaker than it has been in the last couple of years. So any team that's going up against them almost is guaranteed of getting at least one goal. That should be the case ordinarily for Everton, but obviously it's not. They, as you said, they are having their own problems getting goals themselves, and it's not for a lack of creating chances, because I think they've missed 18 big chances already this season. Wow. That's one of the highest in the league. And I saw this really interesting graphic of how the Premier League table would look based on XG, and Everton would be top 4.
Well,
yes. Based on expected goals.
Based on expected goals. And for a team that has been in the relegation fight for the last couple of years, you'd expect that to be better. And it's not really their fault. You can say that they had Mope, who hadn't scored in 29 games before leaving Everton. They had Calvert-Lewin, who was very inconsistent, coming back from an injury, never really discovered that goal scoring form until recently. And they didn't have any other options anywhere else. So you could say that they didn't have players who could put the ball in the back of the net. Having brought in Beto, and I'm a very huge admirer of Beto in the games I've seen him in. I think he's a very strong player, willing runner, very passionate, even though he has been at the club for just a few weeks. He's shown that he's probably one of the more talented players at the club. But even he has his own problems putting the ball in the back of the net. He's one player that you'd have to give 5 chances to, good chances that is, before he scores one. And that's not what Everton need. Against Liverpool, it might be easier because of how much space Liverpool allow, and that's in fact is due to McAllister playing in the number 6 role. I hope Klopp rectifies that, because that's one point that Sean Dyche will be looking to target. That's one place that Brighton did target the last time they played, and they did to very good effect. So if Everton are to have any chance of that, if Klopp decides to stick with McAllister in that role. He's one player they can't target. But if you look at the two teams on paper, Liverpool have the better attack, they have the better midfield. In defense, they are on par with Everton. I don't think there's any way you can look at that game and say Everton have a chance of winning this game. If they do, it will be a huge surprise, maybe a mistake. Maybe Liverpool, as they did against Spurs, get a red card and are inconvenienced for the rest of the match. But looking at it on paper, Everton don't have any players there who can break through that Liverpool defense, no matter how weak it is. That midfield will be overpowered by Liverpool. that strike force, that defense, sorry, has no say against a Liverpool strike force of either Mo Salah, Diogo Jota if he plays, Darwin Núñez, Luis Diaz. There's no way an Everton defense is keeping that out for 90 minutes. And I see Liverpool actually scoring more than 2 goals in that game, based on how both teams have played so far this season.
Okay, we'll see how that derby plays out at Anfield. It's Liverpool versus Everton in the Merseyside derby. Let's move on. Let's talk about a team that Liverpool took on 2 weeks ago, Brighton. They travelled to Manchester City to play in the Premier League. They've not really enjoyed their time playing at Manchester City. But for Manchester City, they'll be happy. Rodri is back in the squad after missing out the last few encounters. Now, the most recent of that stretch of games was the one they lost at Emirates, Arsenal beating Man City by 1-0. Let's see how that game actually played out.